I actually received speech services when I was young. Going into kindergarten was when I really had my first words. I always knew I wanted to be in a field that I wanted to help people. My name is Daniel. As a speech therapist in the middle school, I support the curriculum, what's being worked on in the classroom.
Hi, my name is Darian. I am a speech-language pathologist. I currently work with preschoolers 3 to 5 in Brooklyn, New York.
Hi, my name is Dylan. I'm a speech-language pathologist. I am a clinical supervisor and a clinical professor.
I work Monday to Friday, regular school hours. That looks like every half an hour me taking out a kid, bringing them to my office. Play-based therapy, so a lot of it is we're interacting through whether we're on the floor, on the rug, playing with toys that they're interested in, bring in different activities that they might be interested in so they can build upon different skills, putting in, language through that. So it's really fun. Not every day looks the same.
I've done a little bit of prep the night before, prepping a little bit more for the sessions I have for the day. A lot of this stuff, they want you to try to use some of the materials that they already use in the curriculum, so certain passages, articles, vocabulary that they might be working through their IEP goals. Of course, like in the middle school, them being a little bit older, I try to have conversation with them about the goals that we're working on so they could just have an understanding as to why we're in the session.
One of my sort of focuses is training graduate students to be able to deliver evidence-based therapy through the medium of telehealth.
Just working with kids in general, patients. What helps build that patience, at least from my experience, is knowing their trauma and things that I've dealt with. They might deal with poverty. It goes a long way.
Working with kids, like they might not want to leave the classroom that you're coming to pick them up from. You might have to push in for one session. If they're not leaving, they still need the services, so of course.
You kind of have to be a people person because you're constantly and ironically communicating a lot to both your caseload and their support partners. And then also just drive and openness. Gosh, there's so many things.
Especially working with middle school students, they could read through you if you're just faking it. Like they could read that right away. So being yourself, being authentic, they in return will be authentic with you. You're able to establish that rapport with them more and able in turn to provide better therapy for them.
Just being quick on your feet and it goes along with the adaptability and flexibility, but a kid might be on the floor, okay, what can I do? You have to be quick on your feet to kind of think about how can I problem solve this?
Problem solving.
Problem solving,
Well, it really depends on what state you work in. There's certain states that will pay more than other states. New York and California, I think, are regarded as some of the highest paying. It also depends on how many specialty certifications you have. Are you a contracted employee? Are you a 1099 situation? Are you salaried? Are you doing it per diem? There's all these different ways you can kind of be an SLP and get paid for it. You can look online, what's the average salary for an SLP in healthcare in New York, and it'll tell you, which is, don't quote me, but it's probably about $110,000 in 2025. All the other amazing benefits.
Right.
Having that flexibility, you mentioned that work-life balance, I think that's pretty high up on the list of things I look for.
That's one of the things that makes being an SLP one of the best jobs, right? It's good salary, good work-life balance. The trajectory is pretty straightforward. It's just, can you get into the programs and can you finish?
There's definitely various ways you could pivot. We mentioned stepping away from working in a school, having your own private practice. You could be a supervisor, whether it be supervisor in a certain district in a school setting, or it could be just being a clinical fellows supervisor, moving a little bit away from providing therapy on a day-to-day. Typically, as you continue to accrue those years in the field, your salary will continue to go up.
And that's another great thing about being a speech pathologist is just you have flexibility to sort of maybe take on different roles.
Looking to speak with more confidence in your next interview? Search Indeed on YouTube to learn communication skills and more.
So undergrad's 4 years, graduate program 2 years, clinical fellowships roughly 9 months to a year depending on placement, if you're getting your hours, and then you take a national praxis exam. It's a test specialized in speech language pathology, and once you pass that, hopefully get licensed and then you get certified through ASHA. It depends. Some jobs require it, some jobs don't. That's the national body for speech language pathology. And then you have to maintain your certification every 3 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you need to be able to show people that you are competent at what you do.
Speak on clinical experiences that you have, how you would adapt to certain situations. They might just present you with a certain scenario.
50 other people are also applying for it, right? How do you edge yourself, into that position? First and foremost, I tell students this: you have to have drive, you have to be curious, you have to be humble, you have to have a resume that's like really organized, you have to ask questions, and know your stuff. Be prepared to provide writing samples, be prepared to have an evaluation report that you're proud of, a SOAP note that you're proud of, a progress note that you're proud of. Yeah, lesson plan. You basically should show up with like a whole portfolio of all these documents.
Just be yourself. Obviously know your stuff, whole from your clinical and personal experiences, but being yourself will get you pretty far.
If you're just yourself and you were paying attention in grad school and you were invested, and you are willing to ask questions and comfortable with like hearing constructive feedback or criticism about your own skill sets.
Some settings, again, like we spoke about, they'll ask you questions, what would you do in this situation? That might be one setting. Another setting might be, okay, tell me about your experience, tell me how you got into the field. Might be more conversational, more personable. Hopefully you land the job. It might look like being observed, some sessions being observed by your supervisor, getting feedback. Once they feel that you're comfortable providing the therapy by yourself, then you're your own clinician.
I would say don't doubt yourself as much. Imposter syndrome, right? I think it's just part of the human experience, but I think I doubted myself a lot getting into this.
Yeah, there's been times in grad school, like I've been picked out as like just a spotlight on you throughout the whole time you're there.
And you get sort of like in your own head about it. So I think if I had to give myself a piece of advice, it would just be like, trust the process, feel good to be a part of the movement, and believe in yourself.
Very similar throughout all my courses. It was just not only being the only guy in the room, but also being maybe one of 3, black people in the room. So definitely important to keep that confidence up of I can do it. This is for me. It might look different than the typical therapy or the typical person doing it, but I'm supposed to be here. And yes, the coursework is important for the foundation, but please do not get so tied up in that. You're gonna learn a lot of things on the job that you didn't learn in school.
It was very competitive. It was a very competitive atmosphere. Everyone just wanted to get the best grade possible to get into grad school, because that is also very competitive. You have to move with confidence and you have to believe in yourself.
We need you.
Yeah.
We need you, and
we need it.
Yeah.
Yes, do it. It's a great job. It's a great career. I mean, we've been saying all the great things about it. It's hard, but everything in life that's hard is worth it.
Yeah.
And you get to help people every single day.
Yes.
It doesn't get any better than that, to be honest with you. Check out more job insights right here on Indeed's channel.